Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this Crown Jewel review and opinions video. We've got so much to get through and we need to get through it quite quickly. We really can't go longer than 20 minutes, unfortunately, on this one because I have another live stream lined up, so we're going to have to get through this. Let's start, shall we, with what you scored the matches. So, Bloodline versus Bloodline, you scored that good 89%. It just never really got going for many of you. I wonder if the build being rushed just sort of meant there was a few looks and a few moments that didn't quite land. For example, you know, there was a bit of a look that Roman gave as Jay was making his way to the ring, and I didn't quite know what that meant. And then, you know, Jay was being a little bit problematic during the match with Roman wanting to be tagged in, and Jay not really allowing it. And I remember Michael Cole saying, like, you know, is Jay just showing Roman that they're all equals now? And I feel like there's a lot of layers here, and there's a lot going on here because there's a lot of history here. And maybe the fact this was so rushed to get to where we are meant that some of this stuff should have been worked out and should have been allowed a bit more room to breathe. And then we would have a better understanding of these relationships. Like, I don't know how Roman feels about Jay right now. I don't know how Jimmy is feeling about Jay being back in. I think he's excited. But, like, there's clearly issues, isn't there? There's clearly problems. I don't know. It's hard to explain why this just never quite landed for people, but it didn't. I mean, a Bloodline match getting good, 89%. I mean, that is really low. Then the women's Fatal 4-Way got good 87. So the women's got a bit of praise, the Fatal 4-Way. I thought that it was fine, but I thought it kind of really lost its way. There's quite a lot of moments in there that are just off. There's quite a lot of moments in there that are just quite botchy. Or I don't know if botch is the right word. There was definitely some botchy moments. Like, I remember EO slipping at one point. But I think it was more loose. You know, there was just lots of, like, trying to get onto the same page. I suppose it's difficult when you've got so many women involved. You know, 8 women involved. And they were trying some big spots. And they were really trying to do some stuff. Some of it came off. Some of it didn't. You lot scored it good 87%. Thankfully, we then got Bronson against Seth. That definitely improved the score. That took us to great 67% for that match, right? I really enjoyed that match. I thought that match was really good. I suppose the only thing is, did the right person win? I think a lot of us thought that Bronson was going to get the win, and it's Seth that ends up getting the win, which I think is a real shock, a real surprise. Not down on it because we don't know where we're going, but I definitely think Bronson could have benefited more from the victory. But again, it's hard to say that because we don't know what's coming next. But if I was to just kind of pick at it a little bit, I would say, like, you know, did the right person win? Then we had Liv versus Nia. This was always going to be hard. This is, you know, 2 heels going up against each other. Crowd were a bit flat for this because there just wasn't anyone to cheer for. Tiffany came down. They woke up then because they were cheering for Tiffany to cash in on Nia, right? They wanted her to cash in on Nia, stand up for herself kind of a thing. She never does. Liv ends up winning, and that was that. So you lot scored it good 88%. So far we've had 4 matches. 3 of them have been rated good. 1 of them great. So things aren't really going that great so far, right? But thankfully, you know, this is where things really kind of turn around. I would say the second part of the show really saves this show from being a disaster, right? Because we get the Randy Kevin Owens match, but we don't actually get the match. It's just a big brawl. You know, you've got like Randy RKOing Adam Pearce, which is really fun. You've got a stunner from Kevin to the referee. You got a big fun spot on the outside of the ring that's between Kevin and Randy. So there's no score because there was no match, but it was a really fun brawl. Then we had Andrade, LA Knight, Carmelo. A little bit off in places, but good enough for you lot to give it a great rating. So it did get great. It was great 63%. So it couldn't quite get to the levels of Seth Bronson, but it wasn't too far behind. And actually, I saw a few people saying that up until this point, that triple threat was their favorite match. I think I would go with Bronson Seth out of the two, but to be honest, I think the best match was probably the main event. And the main event ended up getting great 67, the exact same score as Bronson versus Seth. So this was Cody against Gunther. They were just allowed to cook. Crowd were going bananas during this match. I kind of felt a little bit like France, where the crowd were doing their own thing. So the action in the ring was not really being reacted to by like the crowd. The crowd were just having a party. And they'd just gone rogue, right? They just decided they were going to do Mexican waves and just live their best lives, right? Whatever they were doing in the ring was fine, but we're just having a party now. So the crowd just went rogue, but it was fun. It provided, like, you know, a real good atmosphere. Even at one point, Gunther joined in with the Mexican wave, did a little Mexican wave. And of course, you know, Cody gets the win in a kind of, I suppose, a callback to Brett and how Brett beat Rowdy Roddy Piper. It was okay. I mean, I as a main event, I thought it was fine. I don't think it was as good as the matches with AJ Styles, those Cody AJ Styles matches. I'm not sure this will be in conversation for match of the year or anything. And certainly your scores, as we said, it's struggling to be match of the show. It's joint top with Seth and Bronson, but I think Cody Gunther is my match of the night. I'd give it to Cody Gunther, and that was it. Honestly, I mean, there really wasn't much other than Sammy coming down, you know, and getting involved in the Bloodline bit. You know, some people wondered if we might get Hikuleo. Some people wondered if we might get The Rock. Some people wondered if we might get Zilla. Some people wondered if we might get Charlotte. Some people wondered if we might get Alexa. Some people wondered if we might get Goldberg. Like, the list goes on and on and on. And to answer all of those, no, we didn't get any of those. This was pretty much as advertised. This was pretty much, we're going to give you what we've advertised. So, you know, it was what it was. There was definitely enough here to stop this from being a disaster in my mind, but I think this is also a premium live event that is lacking quite considerably. So I'm very middle of the road. I mean, I think this has been a tough week for WWE. You know, the question was asked on Monday, was this the worst Raw of 2024? And I honestly think we could ask that same question of SmackDown. And now we've come to the PLE, and I honestly don't know that this is the worst PLE of 2024, but it is far from the best. Let's put it that way. And actually, if this did turn out to be the worst PLE of 2024, I wouldn't be shocked. I think this one for me is more near the bottom of that list than the top, you know, of course. So, yeah, I'm probably feeling like a 6, something like that. Probably feeling about 6. I think there's definitely enough here, enough moments that I can argue and put forwards to stop this being a 2 or a 3 or some sort of disaster score. But I can't make any arguments for this being like 8 or anything like that. So I'm interested to see what people have got to say. So let's get into it. Metal Mama said, honestly, Crown Jewel was kind of Seth and Bronson put on a solid match. I enjoyed LA Knight, Carmelo, and Andrade's performances, but the rest was mid. I'm going to give it like a 5. I had more fun dealing with technical difficulties. Just kidding. Just goes to show how not great it was, since this reply is shorter than my usual novel. That is true. The fact that you have not written out War and Peace is probably an indicator that this didn't have a great deal going for it. Bradley said it was an amazing show, though. I think this show exceeded expectations. Every match delivered, and the way that Gunther was pinned was perfect way to do it without using a finisher. I can't wait for what's next for Bronson. So Bradley enjoyed it. Right, Gio the Fio said, I thought the show overall was great. However, I see a lot of hate for Liv versus Nia, but I thought that match was great. Another hot take, I think Randy KO was mid. I mean, it wasn't even a match, but I got Cody Liv interactions, so I'm happy, said Gio the Fio. Brittany said it was a very fun show. Word Wrestling said, I thought it was a fun show. It did what it said on the tin in terms of expectation and matches. Bloodline match was actually really good, with a great ending for the story going into Survivor Series, which is what we wanted. Gunther, Cody was okay, but it was just okay. 6, 7, 5. So you're ahead of me. I wouldn't say loads ahead of me, but you are ahead of me. TJF says, best Bloodline match yet. Solo pinning Roman twice in one night. New tribal chief crowned. Cody versus Gunther was a great technical match. Actual wrestler. Hayes, congratulations to Liv. She looked genuinely pleased. Bring on Tiffy time. 7 from TJF. So, TJF, shout out to you. The Sammy kick was awesome, said TJF. Thank you for a great stream, Daze Creek. TJF, shout out to you. Raymond said Crown Jewel was okay. Matches were good, and I've enjoyed it. I would give it a 9. I appreciate you. Thanks for the shout outs. So, Raymond, thank you. Matthew said, really disappointed. Halloween Havoc was such a great PLE, and everything that was fun and good about it is what was missing from Crown Jewel. The one match that everyone cared about went first, and Roman was pinned clean by Solo. No titles changed hands. This was a nothing event. 4 out of 10. Brady said it was great. I'm excited to see what's next for Liv, because she can finally have another challenger other than Rhea. NJ94 said it was okay for me, nothing more. Everything that happened was predictable. No surprises, no title changes. That was kind of, Matches were good, but the Bloodline match being first felt like a flop because it was downhill from there. Bailey said the only good Saudi show that we've had. Oh, really? I thought King and Queen of the Ring was better personally, but that's interesting. If you didn't rate that one, but you rated this one. Ian said, I feel Crown Jewel has become more like that family tradition that no one wants, but is stuck with thanks to some old guy. 2022 was good. 23 and 24 have been poor. A generous 6. P.S. You should have placed that bet on Liv. I should have placed that bet on Liv, you're correct. Richard said, nice, but Pure Fusion Collective need tag titles. Ultra Nick said, I thought it was a good show. The standout matches for me was the triple threat with the United States title minus the botch. But it was a fun botch. It's a botch that I really enjoyed. And Cody versus Gunther. A decent 7 out of 10 for me. Keep up the streams and the content. Ultra Nick, thank you, my friends. Briggsy said, best Saudi event we've had out of all of them, but it wasn't an insane show, but decent. I'm going to say 6, said Briggsy. I met Lee Moriarty and Cross Follows Me. Says, really good show. I was surprised that the Temu Bloodline won. I'm glad that Kyrie and Io had a good showing. Seth versus Bronson was good. Liv versus Nia was... kind of wish that Tiffany had cashed in. US title match was good. Cody Gunther was excellent. Overall, 10 out of 10. I find that interesting, right? And I'm only asking this or pointing this out because I see this quite a bit, where people say, like, Liv Nia was, nah, right? US title match was good. I mean, not great or mind-blowing, but was good. And then we get 10 out of 10. So the only thing I would say is that what would your score be if Liv Nia had been amazing? What if the US title match had been amazing? Where could you go if you've already given it 10 out of 10? I don't know. It's weird, isn't it, how people have got different systems for their top 10s, or, you know, out of 10, I'm going to give it this kind of a thing. So, that's the problem with doing these. I can't get an answer from my Meet Lee Murray. So I'll never know, right? I'll never know. Maybe this is like a weak 10, and it could be a strong 10, or something like that, you know? SXXXXRXXX319 said really good. I expected the original Bloodline to win, but was shocked when Solo's Bloodline won. Even more so that Roman took the clean pin, and the other matches were really good / great too. Shout out to Cody standing Gourd Buster on Gunther. Oh, I don't even know what that is. Gourd Buster. Oh, I never saw a gourd, but I never saw Gunther's gourd get busted. Johnny said 6. I enjoyed the final matches, but the opening tag matches and the women's title didn't deliver for me. It feels like frequency of botches increased. Someone should keep track of this. R.I.P. LA Knight's crown jewels. Oh, that's brilliant. In Unseen, I was like trying to think of a way of words in it. I ended up saying Little LA Knight, and I was like, oh, I didn't like that. Oh, God, I should have gone with LA Knight's crown jewels. Johnny, that's awesome. Kelly the Wise Lady said 5 out of 10, and that's being generous. KO and Randy was the one match that started to cook, but it didn't even start, and it was over in, 5-10 minutes? Tiffy not cashing in, yet another tease is getting a bit old. I understand we're trying to build on this, but it's time to pull the trigger. Seth winning was a surprise. Cody getting respect from Gunther was nice. Bloodline was meh. Breaking news, Jacob loves Solo. Sammy kicking Roman by accident. Well, given what we saw on SmackDown, was it really accident? Long. They have rushed this feud, and it's sloppy. They need to slow it down, get it right. Crown Jewel has always been my least favourite PLE, and still is. 5 out of 10. I really don't think you're alone in that. I mean, there's a real mixed bag on this one. I'm really enjoying people's thoughts, because some people have really enjoyed it. Some people have struggled. Adrian said this felt like a house show with some extra sparkle thrown in. And I don't think we need Cody winning everything all the time. It's getting predictable and a little stale. It reminds me of mid-2000s Cena. Overall, decent show. Won't live in the memory for long. Onwards to Raw. Mackenzie said was okay show. Interested in the Randy Kevin storyline. Lexi said lit because Liv got 2 belts and I'm proud. Austin said loved it. I thought it was one of the best Saudi shows in a long time. I give it 9 out of 10 and I had fun on the stream today. Oh, that's good. Shout out to you, my friends. Gabe said it was a fun show. Vicky said, I didn't think Solo's team was going to get a clean victory. Sammy got a lot of apologies to make, and 4-way was a botch match. I was hoping to see the match between KO and Randy. Nia Liv LA Knight fight was meh. Cody Gunther was great. Watson said, Daze, I love Gunther, but I think there is something missing from his matches compared to those awesome takeover matches. Maybe it's because in NXT, his size made him look like a machine. I still think his match was good tonight, though. Maybe I'm wrong. What are your thoughts? I think we see Gunther a bit more now, to be honest. I think that he has, dare I say, matches on a bit more of a regular basis. And the other thing as well is I don't know how much time they have to plan for it. You know, when you're in NXT, you can just work with your partner, your opponent. You can make it right. You can focus on the house shows. You know, you can really dial in. And the thing is that Gunther's on Raw, Cody's on SmackDown. These two, I don't even know they've been doing house shows together, because Cody, I think, has been... He might have done a few shows with Cody, but it's not the same as if you're in an actual feud, you know? If you're in an actual feud and you're doing house shows, you can really work on different elements and try some stuff. And by the time the match hits TV, you've got a really good idea of what you want to do. This one tonight, this was just chucked together, really. I think they did well to come away with what they came away with. I think if they weren't both as good as what they are, this match could have been very average, but actually was quite good. But I don't disagree with you that we're not quite hitting the levels of NXT, but that is going to be very difficult because, as we said, NXT, they've only got to worry about NXT. There's not that many live events, so they can really just spend all their time focused on making the match they're working towards the best thing. Here, you've got live events, you're touring all the time, traveling all the time. There's a lot of other stuff that gets in the way, so it's a lot more of a challenge here. So I don't disagree with you. I just think it's going to be really hard to kind of get that standard to the main roster. JDS said, those matches, Bloodline, Randy KO, Seth Bronson, Cody Gunther, they stole the show for me. I wish the last match with Cody Gunther had ended with a normal 1, 2, 3, but the rest didn't catch my attention. So gut feeling, 9.5. Okay, wrestling fan since day one. Let's see if I can just go full screen. Bloodline, Roman, Usos booked way too early. They should have had the match at War Games and just kept building until then. I don't disagree with you. Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. The only thing I would say is I can understand them wanting to show the Bloodline. Do you know, part of me wonders if they maybe weren't going to put them on the show, and then all of a sudden, word came in, no, they've got to be on the show. I wonder if the reason why this was so rushed is because literally 4 weeks ago, they weren't, because don't forget, Triple H always tends to put on 5, 6 matches. This had 7. So could we make an argument? Could it be a case? The reason this feels rushed is because it was never going to be on the show until the Saudis demanded it or something. I don't know. That's just me spitballing, but I think that's something I'm just chewing over in my mind, because I agree, this did feel rushed. But I think the story is that we do the match here, and then Survivor Series is where OG Bloodline get their revenge. Nia, Liv, the Women's Championship, it was bad booking. They could have done better. Cody Gunther, one of my favourite matches tonight. Randy Kevin, they should have just made it a street fight or a no DQ match. Andrade, Carmelo, LA Knight is my second favourite match. Bianca and Jade versus Io and Kairi Lash, blah, 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 blah. I love them all, but too many spots. They overdid it. Still was good. Match was with phenomenal stars. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 for the show. I could go lower, to be honest. It was not worth the hype. Stream was amazing. Thank you, my friend. We tried. 10 out of 10. Can't wait for Monday. Have a great UFC stream. I'll leave a like to show support. And chat days turned into Dominic Mysterio. So, wrestling fans since day one, my friend, thank you. You better have left a like. Yeah? You don't want that dark cloud to descend again. So, shout out to you, dude. Right, let's read these. We've done nearly 25 minutes, and I am probably going to be late for my UFC stream. Lex F1, shout out to you, said, hi, mate. Hello, bud. Hope you're well. I'd give it a 6. So would I. Some good matches, but back to the post-WrestleMania 40 predictable PLEs like Backlash. No shocks or surprises. Just niggles with the wrong person winning. Seth, Cody. I wanted more from the Bloodline match. It was a flat finish. Lex, shout out to you, dudes. Gaz said, was a good show. I enjoyed most of it. Happy Liv won, but disappointed Cody won. This was the perfect opportunity for him to take an L. That was meaningless to him, but would have been epic for Gunther going forwards. And Alberto99 said, wow, what a show. Can't wait for Crown Jewel 2025 if they do the show. From start to finish, all around, it was a good show. Would have liked to have seen the Randy match, but 8-5. If we just go over to the opinions here and go full screen. at the moment, we've had 182 votes. You can see that it's kind of caught between these two. I think my 6 definitely puts me in good okay. So we spoke yesterday about how I think I was like a 4 for yesterday. I really did not like SmackDown. This was better than SmackDown. No doubt in my mind. This was better than SmackDown. So I think I was like a 4 for SmackDown, which I think we said was about here. I think I'm well in the good okay today, right? So it seems like I'm probably not far out. 34% was in good okay. 54% went great. These two are quite empty, to be honest. It seems like most people are debating between these two. So for me, I'm in good okay personally. But up to you to decide where you were. But yeah, I don't have much doubt. I really think this was better than yesterday's SmackDown. So there we go. That is Crown Jewel. So really appreciate the feedback. Appreciate people joining us. I'm going to run away because I've got to go and do a UFC stream now. But thanks for all the support. And I will see you again next time. Bye for now.